What would you say is the best type of wine if I asked you right now? Hi everybody and welcome. I just used 2 principles on you from this amazing book that I've been reading, Pre-Suasion by Robert Cialdini. We live in a world where we have to sell more, achieve more, do more, and people are using that on us as well because everybody feels the pressure to achieve. So in this book summary, I'm going to give you some powerful ideas on how persuasion works and how it builds on from Robert Cialdini's previous book. And there's a very interesting warning that he gives at the end as well. So first of all, let's recap on the actual principles from the first book. He goes through them one more time. Reciprocity, where people are more likely to do something for you if you've done something for them. Very, very powerful strategy. Scarcity. If there's only one seat left available, then you are going to be willing to pay more for it and do more. So scarcity is also a very important one. Authority. Have you ever seen somebody with pictures of a celebrity? Or have you ever seen somebody who is hanging out with a certain person because that person is known for something? That is also likely to be able to help you to persuade people. Liking. We like people that like us, so I hope that you like me, and if that's the case, give this video a like. Social proof. So and this was actually a great example from yesterday. Yesterday I was crossing the road. It was a red traffic light, but I could see that there was absolutely no traffic. It was late at night and a couple of people followed me. Social proof. If somebody else is doing it, then it should be okay for me to do that. I was dressed up nicely and so people were more willing to follow me. If I was a young teenager, people are less likely to follow them because they think young teenagers are likely to get run over by cars. And finally, the contrast principle, where we notice and are receptive to messages that are different from the messages that we are typically exposed to. Anything that is really out there is going to stand out. Anything that is the same as everything else is going to be boring, and we don't really want to have anything to do with it. So here are a couple of lessons from the new book, Moving Attention Like a Magician. So if I said to you, given the amount of terrorism that's going on at the moment, you're going to be thinking about terrorism, and I am redirecting you to where I want you to be thinking. If I want you to be thinking about terrorism, then that is the way of doing it. But I can even do that in a more simplified manner. Are you unhappy? Are you feeling that you are not achieving your financial goals? By doing this, I am already getting you to think in the negative. I could do the opposite and ask you whether you are happy. Or I could say, what are the happiest things from your day? But if I want you focused in one direction, if I want you to think about the negatives, then I can do that just by opening the question, by directing you where I want you to be thinking. So pay attention to that. Emphasis makes things more important. Now, Coke, McDonald's really know how to use this. They advertise at us all the time. Their advertisements are everywhere in all sorts of different ways. They use all sorts of different ads to attract different kinds of people, which is why they have such a large market. But when times are bad, a lot of businesses forget this, and instead of continuing to invest and putting in the time and effort and the money in order to be able to get you to know about them, they will cut spending on these things and their service will go down, people won't know about them, and it becomes a major issue. This was used really well during the war in Iraq as well. So the stories weren't about the war and whether it was going well, it was mainly about the soldiers and what kind of lives they lead, what kinds of things they did. So very, very dangerous for the amount of power the media has over us to do this. They will direct our focus and create emphasis on certain things at certain times. So during the time of the September 11 attacks, then it is all over the media again. People start thinking about terrorism, and then when they stop talking about it, we forget about it.